Hey guys, it's me. I am live Saturday. It's Saturday. You know exactly what that means. I'm gonna just turn up the the screen, the brightness of my screen, my phone screen, so you guys can see me a little better. I'm wearing my Seahawks hat because it is officially the start of the new NFL season. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, but it's here. It's here. The first official game of the new season was this past Thursday. Chiefs battled the Ravens, and if I'm not mistaken, the Chiefs won, as I almost knew they were going to do, because Chiefs have been all but dominant the last couple of seasons. For some reason, I would love to see the Chiefs actually lose a Super Bowl, not get into a Super Bowl at some point, just to prove that Patrick Mahomes ain't the perfect quarterback. Because the last couple of seasons, it's been like the Chiefs, and then basically nobody else has even stepped up, really, except for maybe the Buffalo Bills, but we'll see. For those who may just now be coming in, if you want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. It's never required, but I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. And before I start off with the shows for this week, I wanted to let y'all know that I will be talking about AEW Collision. AEW Collision was on last night, the same time as Friday Night SmackDown, which I didn't watch AEW Collision, but I got to have a look at it via YouTube, via their AEW's YouTube channel. So I got to watch some of the matches and segments, and it wasn't a bad show, actually. So I'm going to talk about Collision. I'm going to talk about Collision 2 because Collision was last night, because AEW All Out is tonight. And that's the reason why they moved Collision to Friday. So I'll be talking about that as well. I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and the final SmackDown on Fox. I cannot believe it's happening, but SmackDown will now be on USA Network starting next week. They've already got a packed show for that week, and I'll talk about all of what's going on Friday Night SmackDown when I get to Friday Night SmackDown. But first things first, Monday Night Raw. Also, I think I saw someone in the live. Hey, thanks. Hey, Danny. Thank you for showing up. For those who maybe are just now coming in, if you want to hit that like button, feel free to do so. It's never required, but I always appreciate the likes regardless. If we can get this to 10 likes, that would be amazing. And yes, I already know you liked. Obviously, there's 2 likes at this point. I scheduled this live stream about 2 hours earlier because I wanted to at least let people know, hey, I'm going live in case you want to show up. But Monday Night Raw opened with Rhea Ripley. She talked about Bash in Berlin and the mixed tag team match that she and Damian Priest had with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. She talked about getting the pin on Liv Morgan. Oh, okay, Danny. Well, I hope it's something. Well, don't know what it is, but okay, you'll be back. Well, okay. Obviously not everybody can stay on my live streams when I get here. Sometimes I have to they have to leave suddenly because they got something they got to do, but they're almost always back eventually. So be back when you can. Yeah, Rhea Ripley, she wants a rematch for the title because she basically got cheated out of the win at SummerSlam by Dirty Dom. At first, it looked like a mistake, but then once he kissed Rhea Liv, it became clear that that was not a mistake, and also the sliding of the chair into the ring with Liv Morgan capitalizing on it was almost it was pretty much an exact duplicate. It was an exact duplicate of what happened at King and Queen of the Ring when Liv Morgan defeated Becky Lynch to win the title in the first place. And I'm pretty much thinking to myself, that must have been planned by both of them in advance. Because the fact that they did the same spot at SummerSlam, the exact same spot at SummerSlam, makes me wonder if what happened at King and Queen of the Ring was planned out by both of them in advance because maybe by that time Dom was starting to catch the Liv Morgan fever, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this was interrupted by Dominic. Rhea was interrupted by Dominic, who, I don't know if any of you saw, but he had a black eye like you wouldn't believe. His eye looked like he had just gotten welted by a right hand or something, but man, his eye was brutal, looked brutal. Even Kairi Sane had a nasty moment during her tag team match against the Unholy Union of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, which I'll get to later. But damn, you looked... And obviously Rhea was sort of poking some fun at Dom because of this. And then Rhea Ripley comes in and attacks Rhea from behind. Liv Morgan attacks Rhea from behind. Eventually, Rhea's legs get trapped in the ring ropes, which is obviously not a good sign. It looked nasty. That tangle moment looked nasty for Rhea. Liv then proceeds to kiss Rhea on the cheek, which I don't know what that was about, but that was a nice little moment. Afterwards, after the segment, we got a backstage segment with Rhea Ripley, looking with medical personnel attending to her. She at first was like, "No, don't, leave me alone. I can take care of myself." And then Damian Priest comes into the picture and says, "Look, Rhea, you need to let these people do their job and let them look at you." And also, I'm going to talk to Adam Pearce, to potentially have a tag team match against Finn and JD in the main event tonight. Rhea Ripley, I guess, decided that she was going to help find a tag team partner for Damian Priest. But then we got the first match of the night, which was American Made versus Alpha Academy. This match lasted about 9 minutes. It was actually not bad, but this American Made versus Alpha Academy needs to end, because I don't think we need to have Alpha Academy losing week after week after week to American Made. I mean, what the end game of this sort of mini feud is, I don't know. American Made obviously won the match. They obviously won the match after Ivy Nile forced Maxine Dupree to tap out to the Dragon Sleeper. Then Then Chad Gable calls out Uncle Howdy for a 8-man tag street fight next week on that will be on this upcoming Monday Night Raw. So I don't know what that will be, where that will be on the card, whether it'll be in the main event or whatever, because we've gotten now 2 main events out of the Wyatt Six, and so far the Wyatt Six have been presented pretty good. Although I would love to see American Made actually get a win out of this feud, within this feud, at some point during this feud, before the feud ends, but does not look like they're giving it to us. It's like, I guess American Made's only role in this is to lose to the Wyatt Six, which I don't know why we turned Chad Gable heel if all he's going to be doing is losing. I mean, yes, he's a heel, and yes, he talks his crap or whatever, and you're supposed to want to see him get beat up, and you're supposed to want to see him lose every week, but then that only makes it that much more sweeter when he does win. It's like, oh crap, he won, he shouldn't have won. Won that match, he cheated. Well, hopefully eventually they start getting American Made off on the right track, because I'm just worried that American Made's not going to look good. Hey, thanks, Danny. I know that's you because that's one of your many channels that I know you from. Thanks for the likes. And if you feel like coming on using all of your channels and leaving a like on each one, feel free to do so. I don't mind. We also got, after this, we got yet another Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley backstage segment. Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest told Rhea Ripley that the tag team match has been made official, and that he's just looking for a partner. Rhea Ripley explains to Damian Priest, I think I might have a partner in mind, and I'm guessing she goes to find whoever it is she's looking for. Hey Austin, thanks for coming and thanks for leaving a like. I'm pretty sure that was you. We also got a backstage segment involving Adam Pearce. He was talking about thanks Austin. He was talking about at least one of the triple threat matches that was to take place on Monday Night Raw, which was a number 1 contenders triple threat match, where the winner goes on to a fatal 4-way match, which will be, I think it will be next week, for a shot at Braun Breaker's Intercontinental title. I think we got Jey Uso, and I can't remember who else has already been gotten into the match. But tonight one of the matches was supposed to be Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Bronson Reed, and apparently Bronson Reed contracted COVID, so he was medically unable to compete in the match, and so we're supposed to get a replacement, and apparently Braun Strowman came back this week after being brutally assaulted after being tsunamied through the top of a car, which I thought was a pretty badass moment, and especially for Bronson Reed. And if this is true, and I'm just gonna give my take on this situation involving Bronson Reed not being in the triple threat match. They actually very well may have done this for a reason. Oh, it's not my fault for giving Bronson Reed COVID. And besides, I don't think he actually has COVID. I'm going to give y'all my take on this. What I think happened was they have been pushing recently they've been giving Bronson Reed some sort of a monster push. He took out Seth Rollins in dominant fashion, hitting six tsunamis on him. Same with R-Truth. He takes out The Miz with ease. Then he takes out Braun Strowman in what is probably one of the most spectacular big man brawls that we've seen in recent. Well, I can't remember the last time we saw two big, beefy, meaty men just slugging it out, not just in the ring, but outside the ring, in the backstage area, and then even in the parking lot. I can't remember the last time we saw that. And so what my deduction is that they may have wanted to protect Bronson Reed, because even if he won this triple threat match between Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, there's absolutely no way he's going up against Braun Strowman. And he would have lost that match anyways, even if he won the Fatal 4-Way. So I think they wanted to keep his momentum strong by having him not be in this tournament, because I don't think he needs to be competing for a title at the moment. Just have him continue this war path that he seems to be on, where he just destroys everybody and makes it look easy and badass. And that's just my opinion. That might not be the exact reason why they took him out of the tournament. Maybe he actually does have COVID, and maybe he was sort of sick. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Y'all can think of it what you will. But we did get this match. Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Braun Strowman. This went about 10 minutes. And this match was actually not bad. We got Sheamus versus Kaiser again, the matches have been good, but I think it's time we move on from that program. And Braun Strowman surprisingly wins this match, which I was not expecting at all. I didn't expect Braun Strowman to come back after getting beat down mercilessly by Bronson Reed, only to win this match. But he sold his rib injuries, because he had a ton of tape. I'm guessing it was like kinesio tape or whatever, bandaged over those injured ribs ribs that went through, that Bronson Reed just splashed right through. So he was definitely selling his injury pretty darn good, which I think was imperative, because if he had just come out there not feeling a thing, not feeling any pain, that would have been a little bit of a problem, at least with me. Because I feel like if what happened to you happened, I would be like, I'm gonna sell the hell out of my injury, because I would be in so much pain. I'm so glad I don't do this. I'm so glad I'm not a wrestler, because I don't know if I could handle the pain. I think I'm much more suited to just watch. But yes, 10 minutes. This match went 10 minutes. Braun Strowman wins. He gets added to the Fatal 4-Way match, which includes Jey Uso, and I cannot remember the other guy that won not this past Monday, but the other fourth finalist, because we also got another match, which was a number one contenders match, triple threat match. Ilya Dragunov versus Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio. That match happened later on in the night. After this match, though, of Sheamus, Kaiser, and Braun Strowman, we got Zelina Vega versus Shayna Baszler. The Pure Fusion Collective took out Zelina a few weeks ago, and she's been, I guess, at home and nursing her injuries ever since, and she came back last week. And this is her first match since her injury by Pure Fusion Collective, which I still do not like the name. Pure Fusion Collective. I'm doing great, Austin. Thanks for asking. I do appreciate that. Thanks for asking. So this match went about 6 minutes. Wasn't a squash match, but it wasn't anything too special. Zelina actually won the match. No, I think Shayna actually won the match. The Pure Fusion Collective started attacking Zelina. Then Lyra Valkyria goes and comes in for the save. Oh, okay. Well, glad you had fun. I'm hoping you had fun because I know I would. She's also was nursing I guess an injury or so. So done by Pure Fusion Collective. So she came out to help Zelina. Right after that, we got a backstage segment with Zelina Vega and Lyra Valkyria. She thanked Lyra for her help, and I think next week they will have a tag team match against the Pure Fusion Collective, whichever two women, whether it's Zelina, whether it's Shayna and Zoe, or Shayna and Sonya, or Sonya and Zoe. I'm not sure which two members will be facing Zelina and Lyra, but that's the tag team match. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, Austin. Right? I'm glad you had fun. Also, after this, we got CM Punk came out. Now after his match with Drew McIntyre, he at Bash in Berlin, he was backstage after his match at Bash in Berlin. We had a yeah, I know, Austin. Yeah, you just told me. He had a backstage exclusive where he talked. I think it was Jackie Redmond or whoever he was being interviewed by. He made it clear that after this match, he was done with McIntyre. He beat McIntyre, got their bracelet back. He's done. And as soon as he said that, and as soon as I saw that little exclusive, and then as soon as I heard him say that he's done with McIntyre, I'm like, dude, no, you're not done with McIntyre. McIntyre said the exact same thing following SummerSlam. He's done with you, and he wants to move on. And yeah, you said no to that. So, and obviously, this segment proved that yes, Drew McIntyre is not done with CM Punk, and he was never going to be done with CM Punk. It was always going to result in 3 matches. No matter how many times Drew McIntyre or CM Punk wanted to say after SummerSlam or Bash in Berlin, hey, I'm done with this person, I've done everything that I wanted to do, the other person's like, no, I'm not done with you. And Drew McIntyre basically told CM Punk in the segment when he attacked CM Punk, this isn't over until I say it's over. But CM Punk, he wanted to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. But Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere to attack CM Punk. Oh, and also, for those who maybe don't know, we have a new color commentator on Monday nights, that being Joe Tessitore, who has done a lot of football commentary, mainly college football, college game day, maybe some NFL every now and then, and he was also co-host of a game show on ABC called Holy Moly with Rob Riggle. It was basically like a game show, but it involved miniature golf. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of a funny game show. I've seen it, it's funny, mainly because so yeah, that's who that is. So, and Joe Tessitore did a pretty decent job on SmackDown. Oh yeah, I can't watch AEW All Out because I do not have Fight TV, and it costs $50 to watch AEW All Out on Fight TV. So obviously, I'm not going to be able to do that. But I have a YouTube channel called AEW, called WWE Matches. The guy is I think the guy's Spanish. The guy who does the channel, he's Spanish. He uploads WWE matches on this channel daily, like the shows like Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Uploads all the matches and segments, and he also has a website called TokyoVideo.com where he uploads WWE and AEW matches. And on the AEW page, he uploads all of the Dynamite and Collision matches and segments, all of the Rampage segments, and even the Ring of Honor pay-per-views. He does them, uploads them as well. And I won't be able to be on your live stream, Austin, if you did go live. I've got another friend that's live streaming I'm sure at like 9, and I'm not going to be able to be there if you go live. Just saying that already. But this guy will probably be uploading the matches to AEW All Out, hopefully by tomorrow or by Monday. Brain Benders, I can't remember the last name, but it's Brain Benders something. I have a live stream of theirs that's saved in my Watch Later playlist for Watch Later. So I'll share that live stream onto my community tab. And if you want to subscribe to her, feel free to do so. She's nice. And they have a lot of cool live streams that they do every Saturday. Most of the time it's at the same time, like 9. We got also CM Punk. Okay, yeah, after this live stream's over with, I've got a live stream of hers saved in my Watch Later playlist, and I'll just share it to my community tab so you can just check her channel out. We got CM Punk segment. Drew attacked CM Punk. He took off the bracelet again, said he still wants the bracelet, but then he decided, you know what, I don't need this bracelet, it's cheap. So he just decided, break it. He broke it and stuffed the beads in Drew McIntyre's, in CM Punk's mouth. Like, that's crazy, but I mean, you can always make who? Should I hide who? I'm not seeing anybody but you. I'm not seeing anybody's comments but you, Austin. Unless someone else is in the live. Oh, my secret account. I would. Well, I just did, so. Yeah. I hid my secret channel, and I timed him out for 24 hours, so shouldn't be a problem anymore. It's okay, Austin. I didn't know who you were talking about because I was only seeing your comments, but then I decided to refresh the live chat just in case someone made a comment that I just didn't see, that it wouldn't let me see. And fair enough, there was a comment from my secret channel, which I know is you, Moxley, so don't even try to deny it. Don't even try to deny that that's not you, that's just someone who's a friend of yours who is trolling me for no reason, simply because you tell them to. I know it's you, so give it up. Give it up. Your obsession with me is, it's weird. I don't know why you're obsessed with me, but hey, I don't know. Maybe you're in love with me and you just don't want to admit it. I'm a pretty hard guy to forget. Let's just say that. I'm a pretty hard guy to forget once you get to know me. We got another Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley segment, backstage segment. Damian Priest went to tell Rhea that he still doesn't have a partner for the main event tag team match tonight. And Damian, yeah, I know, he is. Yeah, he's had a lot of things to say recently about me, and he had a really nasty comment on his community tab. I'm guessing no more than like 2 days ago, and it's already gone. It's like basically no more than yesterday, and it's already either been taken down by YouTube or he deleted it. Oh yeah, if Aaron wants to come on, feel free to, yeah. I already shared the link to the live chat, to the link to the live stream on his messengers. So I left him a message on Messenger, which was basically the link to this live stream, just in case he wanted to come on. Rhea Ripley said that she found Damian Priest a tag team partner. Damian said that, asked if he said yes to being his tag team partner. Rhea Ripley said that he didn't say yes. He said yeet. So immediately we knew it was Jey Uso. They're sort of capitalizing on this potential Jey Uso Rhea Ripley romance storyline, and I don't know what Rikishi's deal is, but recently, within the last month or two, Rikishi has had a lot of problems with WWE's booking of Jey Uso, as if he expected Jey Uso to finally be a world champion, or at least a Money in the Bank holder by now. I mean, going into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the only person that even needed the Money in the Bank briefcase was Drew McIntyre. Because obviously he was going to cash in the day of the pay-per-view during the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Obviously, CM Punk got involved, which was obviously the right reason. Drew McIntyre, right now, he doesn't need the World Heavyweight Championship. This feud is not about him winning the World Championship. This feud is about CM Punk costing Drew McIntyre every single opportunity he has at the world title, and then just whatever happens after that. And so, I don't know, but Rikishi has not been very happy with WWE's booking of Jey Uso as of late. But I don't know why he's complaining. We then go and we have Damage Control, Kairi Sane and Io Sky versus the Unholy Union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. This was a number 1 contenders match for the Women's Tag Team Championships, which are now held by Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. This was a decent match, went about 7 minutes 30 seconds. Unholy Union do win, which gives them an automatic rematch for the titles. I'm guessing we might be getting the Unholy Union winning the titles back. And this may be when we actually get the turn, either from Bianca or Jade, which I thought we were going to get at Bash in Berlin, potentially with them losing the match, and either Jade or Bianca inadvertently or just by some act of miscommunication costing their team the match, and then having either Jade or Bianca turn heel. Like, but no, that didn't happen. But I'm guessing the fact that they're now giving Unholy Union yet another shot at titles, that's making me feel like now we're actually going to get the heel turn from Jade or either Jade or Bianca. And it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Because we also got Pete Dunne was also backstage. Was backstage. He had a message not for Sheamus and Trick Williams. He seems to be feuding with both of those men. He's feuding with both men as of right now. I don't know what the end result of his feud with Sheamus is going to be, but I know what his end result with his feud with Trick Williams is going to be. We also got a Gunther segment, but then talked about Bash and Berlin, talked about his match with Randy Orton, talked about any potential next challenger for him, and then out comes Sami Zayn for the first time since, I guess, losing the title, the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. He hasn't been around since then, so he's back for the first time in at least a full month. And actually, no, he has been on the show. He has been on the show, so I can't. But he told Gunther that he wants a shot at the title. Gunther flat out says no, but then Sami Zayn starts to remind Gunther, hey, remember WrestleMania? Remember when I was the one to pin you at WrestleMania? Something that no other person had been able to do. Except for three others, which were obviously Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker are the only other two people who have ever pinned Gunther, which were both significant wins in those people's careers. Yeah, people want to say that Gunther buries people, or that Cody buries people just by winning matches. Like, do you really think, in Roman Reigns' more than 3+ year reign as champion, he was constantly beating people, and there were certain times where WWE could have decided to put the title on anybody else, but they, at Clash at the Castle 2022, they could have put the title on Drew McIntyre, but they said, no, not going to happen. Hello, Mox. Hi, Mox. Bye, Mox. Bye, bitch. But it is what it is. Just don't know where this is leading to, but I don't know. I don't know if I want this match. So even though it is basically basically 5 months since WrestleMania, I just don't know if I want to see this match so soon from WrestleMania, even though it is 5 months. Even if it is 5 months since WrestleMania. We got co-main event, which was Ilya Dragunov versus Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio. This was a match to determine the final entrant in a fatal 4-way #1 contenders match for Braun Breaker's Intercontinental title. Ilya Dragunov won this match. Dominic Mysterio wasn't really a factor in this match at all. Even though he was in this match, he just wasn't really a factor as much. But it went about 8 minutes. Ilya Dragunov wins, which was perfect. He needed this win. I think we might be getting Ilya Dragunov as the next challenger for Braun Breaker, which I'm not mad at all. Then we got the main event, which was Damian Priest and Jey Uso versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. This match went about 14 minutes and was a pretty decent tag team match. Like I said, it went about 14 minutes. Damian Priest and Jey Uso actually do get the win via interference from Rhea Ripley, who attacked Liv Morgan, who was at ringside. So this match was what it was. Nice win for the baby faces. That was Monday Night Raw. If I had to rate Monday Night Raw, I would rate it a 7 out of 10. It was a pretty decent show, really decent show. We'll see what happens next week on Monday Night Raw. Should be a good show. And now on to Tuesday NXT. Tuesday and NXT. The opening saw Trick Williams, Ethan Page have a in-ring segment. He talked about his win at No Mercy. It wasn't which he beat Joe Hendry for with the NXT title on the line. He did it via cheating, a low blow with the referee's back turned. Trick Williams interrupted because Trick Williams is getting, or at least was supposed to be getting, Ethan Page at No Mercy at the season premiere of NXT on the CW. Pete Dunne, though, comes out from behind to attack Trick Williams. This then later spews into the locker room area where they again have a beatdown. This was all before their match on this show, which went about 10 minutes, and this led to a no contest when Pete Dunne and Trick Williams decided to just start brawling outside the ring. This later led to Ava Raine deciding that next week on USA Network, on SmackDown, on NXT, they both will compete in a last man standing match, which will be for the right to challenge Ethan Page on the season premiere of NXT on the CW, and I'm already telling you right now, it's going to be Trick Williams. It's going to be Trick. We got Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley was on the show. She took on TNA Knockouts wrestler Rosemary. Rosemary, this is her second time appearing on NXT television. She faced Kelani Jordan a couple weeks ago in a match, which was the build up to Kelani Jordan versus Wendy Chu for the women's North American title at No Mercy, which was an okay match, but that wasn't the strongest. Was probably the weakest match on the NXT No Mercy card, even though every match was really good. But this was a match between Tatum Paxley and Rosemary. Tatum Paxley, after the match at NXT No Mercy, she attacked Wendy Chu. So that led to this match. This match went about 5 minutes. Not exactly a squash match, but not an overly long match. Rosemary wins the match. Wendy Chu and Rosemary start attacking Tatum Paxley, but then out of nowhere, I didn't see this happening. Beforehand, but then Lyra Valkyria comes in for the save out of nowhere. I did not see this happening, but then again, knowing Tatum and Lyra's past history with each other, I should have known that this might happen. Lyra was really the only friend that Tatum Paxley really did have, even though they weren't really friends to begin with. Tatum was at first just like a stalkerish kind of character who really just seemed really into Lyra Valkyria and was like a fan of Lyra Valkyria, almost like, and like I said, the Lyra Valkyria Tatum Paxley storyline of sort of Tatum being so a bit of like a stalker who just seems to be really like, who seems to be a really, really big fan of Lyra Valkyria. It reminded me of the Trish and Mickey storyline, how it first started with Trish, with Mickey being kind of the stalker who was kind of like a big fan of Trish, and eventually, and just like Mickey James and Trish Stratus, Lyra turned on, uh, no, Tatum turned on Lyra, but I'm guessing they're friends again. And they did have a backstage segment after this where where Tatum and Lyra had a moment where they were like him was like, "Thank you, I'm glad you're back, Tatum. I knew you'd come back, Tatum." Lyra, messing up my words. And thank you to whoever just hit that 7th like. I appreciate it very much. Also, we also got a backstage segment involving Tony D'Angelo, the family, and Oba Femi. Oba Femi successfully defended his North American title against Tony D'Angelo at No Mercy in what was a very good match. Maybe not the best match on the card, but it was still very good. Tony D told Oba Femi, "This is not over. You may think that just because you won on at No Mercy that this is over with, but no, I'm still coming after that title." Well, I don't know what this is going to entail, but I don't mind seeing another match between these two. All I'm going to say is, who is going to take the title from Oba Femi? Who's going to take the title from Oba Femi? He's been dominant since winning the title in January. I could see him going the full year as champion. I could see him going the whole year as champion, going into Stand and Deliver as the champion, and potentially losing it to whoever they decide to have him drop it to. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We got Jada Parker versus Jasmine Nix. This all came about because of a backstage segment earlier on in the show featuring this new women's faction called Fatal Influence of Jasmine Nix, Fallon Henley, and Jacy Jayne. Basically sort of a Toxic Attraction 2.0, just without Gigi Dolan, which I don't know if I'm going to like this new group, but we'll have to see what this does for the 3 women, whether this gets them being booked strong But Jada Parker did get the win, but Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne, they came in almost immediately and just started attacking on Jada, so I'm guessing they're sort of I guess they're doing the same thing with this group that they're doing with Pure Fusion Collective, except that this team actually has a somewhat better name. Fatal Influence is actually a good name, so I'm glad that they're actually giving these women an actual name for their group that actually sounds interesting instead of one that just sounds like it makes no sense and feels like the person that came up with the name just flat out couldn't care less what the name of their group was. We got Oba Femi versus Stax. This came about due to the earlier segment involving Tony D and Oba Femi. He sort of embarrassed the Don in this backstage segment. This led to the Don wanting Stax to have a match against Tony D against Oba Femi. This match was also about 5 minutes long, was what it was. It was a bit of a squash match. Oba Femi wins easily, which I knew was going to happen. We also got a backstage segment involving Javon Evans, Brent Sinclair, and Artie Dempsey. Apparently, Charlie Dempsey is interested in Sinclair to, I guess, scout out potential challengers for the Heritage Cup. And so I'm guessing she was like interviewing Javon Evans for a potential Heritage Cup match. Eventually, she allows Javon Evans to have a championship match, Heritage Cup match. Charlie Dempsey did not look all too happy about it when Ren told Charlie what she did. Charlie Dempsey was not at all happy. Like, what? Like, but this match will probably take place sometime soon. I don't know when this match is going to take place, so I'm guessing that we're going to get this match for the Heritage Cup, which might not be a bad match though, because I've been impressed with Javon Evans recently, especially in the main event of Heat Wave, which was a great of NXT Heat Wave, which was a great main event. Like, that was one of the best NXT pay-per-view main events this year. We got Triple H to be done. We got Lexis King. That's not you, Matt. I know that's not you, so shut up, Mox. Can you go one day without stalking my channel? I mean, you wanna say that I stalk your channel repeatedly nonstop, like I can't stop stalking your channel? Well, you're doing it to me, yet for some reason, it's okay for you. It's okay for you to do it, but it's not but when I do it, but if I do it, it's like, oh, it's not okay. Like, why are you stalking my channel? Well, then why are you stalking mine? Like, I'm ignoring you, so why don't you just stay the hell away from my channel? If you can go a full day without actually stalking my channel. Spoiler alert, you can't. It's your job. You know what? I pity you, Moxley. I pity you. Just such a horrible human being. The things this guy says on this channel, you would never catch me saying the garbage and the filth that comes out of this guy's mouth. We got Lexis King versus Oro Mensah. This match was nothing. It lasted about 4 minutes. It was a squash match. Lexis King wins. Also, we got a Javon Evans versus Joe Coffey match. Gallus was sort of upset with Javon Evans recently, so we got this match with Javon Evans and Joe Coffey. This match lasts about 3 minutes. Another squash. It is what it is. We got a triple threat match, tag team match. Hank Walker and Tank Evans versus Gallus. I guess it's Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, I'm guessing, versus the Rascals. This was for a #1 contenders match for the NXT tag team titles. It's okay, Austin. I understand. I was pretty sure you were trying to say something or whatnot, but you just pressed the wrong buttons. But Rascals do win this match in about 9 minutes. Pretty decent tag team match. So it is what it is. It is. But the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Gallows, they sort of had their interference felt in this match. I'm guessing they were attacking Hank Walker and Tank Evans, so they didn't. I guess the Good Brothers the OC didn't want Hank and Tank to win this match, but the Rascals do win. by pinning Gallus. So they get a champion, they get an NXT tag team title shot somewhere down the line where, I don't know. Also, we got the main event, which was Roxanne Perez. She talked about NXT No Mercy. She talked about the woman who came out after her match, Julia. I'm sure we expected Julia to come out, but the first woman to come out to interrupt Roxanne Perez was not Julia, but it was Chelsea Green. I'm just a little shocked as to why we got her. I'm sure, but then I guess she, doing the typical Chelsea Green shtick, she said that no amount of no's from the general managers is going to take away the fact that she is the number one contender, and she wants to be the number one contender for the match for Roxanne's title. I don't know why she thinks she deserves a title shot, but I don't know. But then Julia comes out. She hits Chelsea Green with a knee, with I guess a knee strike, which didn't exactly connect fully. And from what I heard, a lot of people were sort of making fun of her for that because they were showing clips. Because then I think a lot of people on Twitter were like tweeting clips of Mariah May hitting a devastating knee on, I think it was either on Nyla Rose or somebody, and they were like, "Hey Julia, this is how you actually do a knee strike." And I'm like, okay, do you really want someone to legitimately hurt somebody else? That was probably a safe knee strike that looks deadly, but really isn't. So, hey, I think Julia's going to do just fine in NXT. Obviously, she called out Roxanne Perez for the season premiere of NXT on the CW, which makes me think that's what we're getting, is a match between Roxanne Perez and Julia for the NXT Women's title on the season premiere of NXT on the CW, which I'm not mad at. I've always said that once Julia comes in, officially debuts, I feel like that's the woman who's taking the title over Roxanne. As soon as I saw Julia in the crowd at NXT Stand and Deliver, when Roxanne Perez won the title, I was like, that's it. I know who's taking the title off of Roxanne Perez, and it's Julia. She's going to be the one to carry the women's division in NXT once Roxanne Perez goes up to the main roster. And I feel like that's even if she doesn't win the title right then and there, they could do a rematch at Halloween Havoc. But that was it. That was NXT. If I had to rate NXT this week, I would rate it a 7 out of 10. It was actually a pretty decent show. Just a couple of squash matches that didn't really need to be there, but it's okay. They were a part of existing storylines, I guess, so who knows. On to AEW Dynamite. This was the go-home show for All Out, which will be tonight. Won't be able to watch it, but I'll hopefully catch up with the show eventually. The opener was Daniel Garcia and MJF. They had a back and forth promo segment, back and forth with each other. They have a match at All Out tonight, one-on-one. I'm hoping Daniel Garcia wins. But then again, they might just have MJF win via cheating again, which will be obviously the new norm, which is basically the normal for MJF. I don't think that guy could ever win a match clean. I don't know if he's ever won a match clean. Well, even when he was a face, he was still using heel-like tactics to win matches. And I'm like, dude, you're a face. You're not supposed to be doing the heel tactics. But then again, it's MJF. MJF's going to do what he wants, when he wants to do it. Who gives an F what anybody says? No. I think he's much better as a heel. So, here's what it is. There's at one point Daniel Garcia even goes gets out of the ring, goes up the ramp, goes up into the crowd to where MJF is sitting, I'm guessing in his own little section of the crowd. He started attacking MJF before MJF just smashes a champagne bottle over Johnny Gainer Garcia's head. This was a good opening segment though. But then everything else was sort of like not very good. Earlier on in the day, we had gotten a exclusive from Swerve Strickland, an exclusive featuring Swerve Strickland. Apparently, Swerve Strickland got signed a new deal with AEW recently, and apparently, with the money he got from the deal, he was able to buy his childhood home that he lived in as a child before him and his mom were forced out of their home. So he was able to buy it back with the money he got from his new AEW deal, which I thought was pretty wholesome. But then I started thinking to myself, oh shit, is Hangman Adam Page going to do something? And turns out I was right. We got the first matchup of the night. The first match of the night was Kazuchika Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. This was a match for the AEW Continental Championship. Kazuchika Okada, obviously, he won the match. It is what it is. It went about 11 minutes. Wasn't bad at all, actually. Pretty good match, but it just, I don't know. We also got a returning Jamie Hayter, who returned at All In on the 0 hour of all things. She went one-on-one with Harley Cameron, which was about 5 minutes. She won. Jamie Hayter won. I'm guessing they're leading to a Jamie Hayter versus Saraya match because Saraya was one of the people who was responsible in forcing Jamie Hayter to relinquish her AEW Women's title when she held it back in 2023. She's been out for more than a year. I'm glad she's back. She's one of those women that's definitely one of the more credible women in the AEW Women's division. Even though they've gotten some really good talent as of late, like Deonna Purrazzo, Mercedes Moné, and Camille. I don't know. But yeah. We got this in about 5 minutes. We also got a Jon Moxley segment. I do not know what this storyline with Jon Moxley entails, but if this leads to the debut of Shane McMahon in AEW, I will flip out. I will literally flip out, but not in a bad way, but in a good way, because I feel like Shane McMahon in AEW would absolutely be the shot in the arm that AEW needs to get their juice back. Because AEW right now, they can have all the great pay-per-views they can have. Their pay-per-views every AEW pay-per-view this year could have been the best they've ever done. And the weekly shows are like mid. And even the ones that are good, they don't follow up with another good Dynamite. It's like one good Dynamite, and then the next two are like mid, and then they get like a streak of like 4 good Dynamites in a row, and then the one after that, and then the one after that, after those 4 is like mid. Like it's like they can't consistently do good. Ratings aren't helping, and I know a lot of people like to harp on ratings, because it's apparently the cool thing to do, because ratings matter. Ratings matter, which they don't, obviously, but they matter in a way, but not in the way that most people think. And by Mox again. Like I said, you can't stay away. You can't stay away from me. It's pretty pathetic. But yeah, what this segment, I don't know what the partnership between Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir is. Like, that's an odd pairing that I did not see. But Marina Shafir, so far, she's looked great in what she's been doing, which is basically just taking out security and taking them out with literal ease, like dominating the men. But I don't know. I don't know what this entails. We'll see what happens. We got Mariah May versus Nyla Rose. This was for the AEW Women's Championship. Beauty versus Native Beast. Match went about 8 minutes. Wasn't bad at all, but it is what it is. It was a decent match. Mariah May obviously won the match. We got a Mercedes Moné Camille segment. She was talking about her upcoming match with Hikaru Shida at All Out for the TBS Championship. Hikaru Shida appeared on the Titantron, eventually appeared on the Titantron in their proceedings. And Christopher Daniels, who is an acting EVP in Kenny Omega's absence, he showed up beside Hikaru Shida and May had an announcement to make involving the Shida versus Moné match. The announcement was that Camille would be banned from ringside because he is starting to get a little tired of Camille's constant interference in Moné's matches. And so I'm still saying that Mercedes wins. I don't think she's losing that title just yet. When she does, I'm hoping it's someone that actually deserves that title and can, rejuvenate that title, because Mercedes Moné hasn't really done much with the title and hasn't really done much to make me want to invest in that title. We also got Jack Perry had a message for Bryan Danielson in the lead up to All Out. So straightforward. It was pretty good, decent from Jack Perry. I don't expect Jack Perry to win, and I think we all know why Jack Perry was given this opportunity in Chicago, which was probably to test how the crowd would react to him, knowing full well he is the reason why Chicago's favorite, CM Punk, is no longer in AEW. I don't know if we're going to be hearing a whole lot of CM Punk chants or fuck Jack Perry chants but I fully expect Bryan Danielson to win. Not going to lie. The main event was the BCC of the AEW Trios Champions. BCC's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta and the bastard Pac. That's just his nickname. Sorry if I said that word, but that's his nickname, the bastard Pac. Pac versus the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and I'm guessing the honorary member of the conglomeration this particular week, Will Ospreay. Match went about 18 minutes, 30 seconds. This was a really, really good main event match. This was the main event match. The main event segment was going to be Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. This match went about 18 minutes, 30 seconds. The Elite, though, they decided to get their feet dirty by getting involved in this match. Then Claudio Castagnoli decided to call out the Elite for a title match for the AEW tag team titles at All Out between him and Wheeler Yuta, which was made official, and that will be for the. Don't know if BCC are going to win, but I'm saying the Elite might win. Who knows? We'll see what happens. The main event, the real main event of the show was Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. They were supposed to have a contract signing for a steel cage match at All Out. Since then, this match has been upgraded from just a regular steel cage match to an unsanctioned lights out steel cage match. Now, who wins this match and who ultimately wins the feud? I say Hangman wins. Maybe Hangman goes after Bryan Danielson and wins the AEW World Title from Hangman, from Bryan Danielson. I don't know who's gonna win this match, but I'm going with Hangman Adam Page. That's my prediction. But Hangman Adam Page was not there. Instead, he was at the childhood home of Swerve Strickland, which Swerve Strickland had bought earlier on in the day. And what did he do? He decided to set Swerve Strickland's childhood house on fire, which is probably, if not the best visual to end an AEW Dynamite episode ever. Like, I thought Toni Storm being turned on by Mariah May, I thought that was the best visual to end AEW Dynamite this year. But this Hangman burning Swerve's house, because that's his catchphrase. Like, whose house? Swerve's house. Well, Hangman Page just burned down Swerve's house. I mean, that was pretty badass of Hangman Page to do that. And Swerve looked like he was about to go all commando, go all like Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator on Hangman's ass. And I'm sure he's going to. This feud between Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland, I'm just going to say it, one of the best feuds AEW has ever had. And no, he doesn't. Good tell. And again, I know that you mock, so can you just like stop stalking me? It's creepy, and I don't like it. But then again, you're gonna keep doing it, so why should I care? That was it. AEW Dynamite, other than the opener and the main event, everything else was like mid. So I'll give it 6.5 at least, just for the opener and the main event. Then we got SmackDown, the final SmackDown ever on Fox. We got Cody Rhodes. He opened the show with the Bloodline. A lot of people were asking, Cody versus Solo Part 2. Does this match happen at Bad Blood? Does this happen on the season premiere of SmackDown on USA Network? And the latter part is what happens. So we are getting this match on the season premiere of All Out of SmackDown on USA Network inside a steel cage, which obviously it's not going to keep the Bloodline from trying to get involved, but this sets up for Roman Reigns' return, which obviously, I mean, look, y'all can say that Cody Rhodes is mid or that Cody Rhodes' title reign sucks, which it doesn't. I mean, yes, there is a lack of storyline with his title matches, which is with his feuds, but that's not his fault. That's creative's fault for not giving him storylines to work with. I mean, the first actual storyline he'll actually more than likely be working with is his feud with Randy Orton, which should happen almost immediately after. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we get a heel turn from Randy Orton on the season premiere of SmackDown on Fox on USA Network. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I really wish people would stop complaining about the fact that Cody Rhodes beat their tribal chief Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. It was always going to happen, okay? Cody Rhodes was going to beat Roman Reigns. No matter how much we hated it, no matter how much we hate it, no matter how much we hated it, it was always going to happen that way, and there was no amount of pleading from the Bloodline fans out there that was going to reverse the decision. Okay? Obviously, they never intended. I'm sure they didn't intend to ever do the Roman versus Rock match this year, and that was just their way of getting more heat on The Rock to inevitably turn him heel. But then again, that could have also been what they really wanted. But then, as soon as The Rock saw that nobody wanted that match, he decided, oh, okay, let's give the fans what they want. And it obviously worked out in the end because we got Hollywood Rock back, which is obviously one of the best versions of Rock ever. And it also led to one of the bloodiest WWE segments in recent history, at least since the Attitude Era, when Rock beat up Cody Rhodes so violently. And in the rain, might I add, because it was also in the rain. It was also raining outside while they were doing it. I was like, damn. But yeah, we got Tiffany Stratton was backstage with Nia Jax. Nia Jax was like, hey, there are some people that were questioning whether or not you were gonna cash in on me last week. And Tiffany said, no, Nia, Queen, I would never do that to you. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear by now that this is where it's leading to. Tiffany Stratton cashing in on Nia Jax. It's going to happen, and I'm going to be here for it when it does happen. Y'all can cry about that too, because I know there are a lot of people who would love to see Nia Jax be champion for a long, long time, but WWE has plans in place, and you guys do not book WWE. WWE does. So, yeah. When Nia Jax loses the women's title to a cash-in from Tiffany Stratton, I'm sure there are going to be people who are going to complain the hell out of it. We're going to complain like hell. Tiffany Stratton went one-on-one with Bayley. This match went about 8 minutes. Tiffany Stratton actually loses due to interference from Nia unintentionally. She was distracting the referee at one point, and Tiffany had Bayley pinned for the 3 count. But then because of the distraction by Nia Jax, Bayley was able to capitalize with the Rose Plant. 1, 2, 3. She got the win. It was an okay match. They got a video package talking about Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade's rivalry with each other and how they are now at 2-2 apiece. We got a backstage segment with Chelsea Green and Michin Nick Aldis. This led to a match later on in the night with Chelsea Green getting a win over Michin in a 5-minute match, about 5-minute match. Wasn't anything too special. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were backstage with Kevin Owens. The heels were sort of making fun of Kevin Owens for coming up short against Cody Rhodes at Bash in Berlin. This led to Kevin Owens wanting a triple threat match between all three of them, which we did get. It was actually a pretty decent match. When about 9 minutes, 30 seconds, Kevin Owens obviously won. It is what it is. They've been teasing the split from Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for a long time now, and now I'm just like, okay, get it over with. You've been drawing this out for so long now that now I just don't feel like I'm gonna care anymore. Like I would have cared maybe a month or so ago if they had done it. after losing the tag team titles nonetheless, but I don't know. I'm guessing they have a plan for this. I don't know what it is. We got Giovanni Vinci in his return match since being exiled from the Imperium and then having to move over to SmackDown, where he has done nothing but I guess sitting and catering. He's gotten some vignettes within the last couple of weeks chronicling his return, so that's at least good for him for returning. And he had a matchup against Apollo Crews. This match was a squash. Just that, it was a squash. It wasn't a match. Wasn't the greatest match ever. It was only 3 seconds. Giovanni Vinci didn't even get to take off his jacket that he had on. He still had the jacket somewhat on, and he got pinned 1, 2, 3 in 3 seconds. What they're doing with Giovanni Vinci and Apollo Crews, I don't know. Obviously, afterwards, we apparently got a backstage moment with Giovanni Vinci after the match. Later on after the match, where Giovanni Vinci was definitely was angry about that. And I'm guessing this is going to result in a feud of sorts for Apollo Crews and Giovanni Vinci. I don't know, but they should have, even if Giovanni Vinci was supposed to win, even if Giovanni Vinci was supposed to lose anyways, just have him lose in a competitive match that lasts more than 3 seconds. Even 5 minutes would have been at least something, rather than the 3 seconds we got. We got LA Knight segment involving also Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Now, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, they are currently 2-2 in their feud. This will undoubtedly lead to they now have a 5th match, which will be on the season premiere of Friday Night SmackDown on USA Network next week. Now, what happens in this match, I don't know. Both of them seem to want a shot at the United States Championship. Now, what could happen is they could have Carmelo Hayes beat Andrade, go face LA Knight for the title, maybe at Bad Blood, have Carmelo Hayes beat LA Knight, which I don't know if they will do. I could see it happening, I don't know. Or they could have this 5th match between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes end in a no contest, kind of like what happened this past Tuesday on NXT with Trick Williams and Pete Dunne, and then just have this match. I mean, they might very well just make this match #1 contenders match for the United States title, since they both have now staked their claim to want a shot at the title, at LA Knight's title. This could lead to a count-out or a disqualification win, which then allows, or no contest, which then allows them to book a triple threat match between Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, and LA Knight, which then Carmelo Hayes could pin Andrade and win the title that way. That way LA Knight doesn't necessarily have to be pinned, and you can sort of protect him somewhat while still having him drop the title. I don't know what's going on with that, but hey. The main event, though, was a Bloodline match versus Street Profits and DIY. This match went about 12 minutes. The Bloodline win this match easily. Well, it wasn't easy, but they eventually did win. And just like the Friday Night SmackDown before SummerSlam, Bloodline won the match. And then Solo Sikoa will get a shot at the Undisputed Championship next week, which he will lose. He will lose that match. So for those of you who are hoping and praying that Solo Sikoa will finally get the job done next week, what he didn't get to do at SummerSlam, yeah. Roman Reigns is obviously returning on the debut of Friday Night SmackDown on USA Network. He's clearly going to be there to stop Solo from winning. So, good luck. Good luck to all you Solo fans, because you guys are going to be so unhappy after next week. There's going to be a lot more complaining after next week. SmackDown, it was a good show. Was it the best? Not necessarily. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. Well, guys, that's it. Like I said, I'm just going to end this live stream now, guys. I appreciate those of you who showed up. The 7 likes, appreciate that. I will see you guys next week. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace and bye, guys.